India is buying Russian oil. The West is furious. The US is losing its sleep. But New Delhi, literally unmoved, unapologetic, and unbothered. Well, welcome to the age of strategic autonomy, and that is India edition. So guys, this is me, Praveen Mishra, welcoming you all to StudyIQ IAS English. And today, we are going to discuss about this news that is, hovering today all over the internet, as one of the key officials of Trump administration has accused India of funding Russia in its ongoing war against Ukraine. So what has happened? Exactly today, there is a very senior official there known as Stephen Miller, who is also the deputy chief of staff and a senior aide to President Donald J. Trump, accused India of indirectly, not directly, obviously, indirectly funding Russia's war in Ukraine. How? That India is a major buyer. Around 35 to 40% of our crude oil supply comes from Russia. And Russia is using the money earned from India, that is from us, in its war against Ukraine. Simply destabilizing the global peace, simply destabilizing the global trade. This is what the accusation has come from a country that is known as United States of America, who has got a history to disgruntle the whole world, to disturb the peace of this whole world, to disturb the trade of this whole world, basically to disturb the tranquility of this whole world. So, hypocrisy at its best. So what American official has stated, indirectly, India is funding Russia's war in Ukraine by continuing to import Russian crude oil, asserting that India is nearly tied with China's terms of volumes purchased from Russia. Well, that's not a wrong statement. But yes, why we shouldn't buy oil from Russia? Does America or any other country from Europe, from Africa, from Latin America, from Australia, or from any country or any continent, do they have any specific reason for us to provide with this question that you are buying oil from Russia? Why? Yes, we will buy oil from Russia because it is providing us in discounted price. And when it comes to war against Ukraine, India has always been supporting Ukraine as well whenever it comes to humanitarian aid. Right? So we have provided all the humanitarian aid to Ukraine, no doubt in that. But still, 3 years plus, the West as well as the NATO alliances, they have failed to establish peace in Ukraine, which was almost about to become the almost about to become the NATO alliance. Right? So, it's their failure. And they're just pushing their failures on our side, accusing India that our money is used by Russia to fund its military, to equip its military and fight against Ukraine. Well, to be very honest, Russia is still presently the third largest economy, just after China and America. And still, Russia doesn't need any excess amount of funding presently. Though the Russian currency ruble is not that global currency, is not that powerful currency globally, but still, Russian economy has been stabilized. Russian economy is going good since last 3 to 4 decades, what we have seen, even after the giant leap, the post-disintegration of USSR. But still, Russia has maintained its very best thing when it comes to the market, as well as the communist economy, where we discuss about this laissez-faire. So still, I don't know how this American government, this American administration is accusing this thing. So, but let's go ahead from the perspective of our UPSC CSE mains examination, first of all. So the possible questions, as you can see, these could be the possible questions, guys, with regard to the mains examination, from India's perspective, from the global perspective, as well as from the regional perspective, as well as the energy sector, as well as what is this strategic autonomy. So guys, these are the types of questions that you can expect in your mains examination. You can just write all of these answers, and share with us on the Telegram channel, that is Praveen _StudyIQ. Praveen _StudyIQ. So this is the Telegram channel, everyone. So you can share your written answers. You can just directly text me here, or directly share your PDF or maybe the images, whatever you want to do. That is with regard to your answers. Now let's move to the news. This comes shortly after the US administration imposed 25% tariff on the exports, right? So with additional penalties for its trade ties with Russia, especially in energy and military equipment. This statement has come exactly you can see 48 hours or 72 hours later, when America has officially imposed 25% tariffs on Indian exports to America. Right, and apart from that, America has also stated that it is ready to take any kind of an action to put a huge pressure on us, that is India, to support or to just, discontinue the relationship between New Delhi and Moscow. Apart from that, Trump administration has further threatened 100% tariffs on imports from countries still purchasing Russian oil unless a peace deal is reached in Ukraine. So this is what American administration is up to. 3.5 years plus, and still you have failed to establish peace in Ukraine, and now you are just being as childish as you can. Next. Well, our position, as I quoted in the beginning, New Delhi, unmoved, unbothered, unapologetic. You think whatever you want. So what is our position? Indian government sources have publicly stated that Delhi will continue to import oil from Russia, framing these as commercial decisions made by the state-run as well as private refiners. New Delhi has further emphasized energy security, affordability, and strategic autonomy as the guiding principles, where we are saying that New Delhi will continue to buy oil from Moscow at any cost. As it is part of our strategic autonomy, it is also part of the affordability as well as energy security. Today, America can't be trusted. We do not have any cordial relations with China. Directly, we are buying oil from the Middle Eastern countries, but it is not sufficient for us. That is, we are having a population of 1.5 billion, and to provide the sufficient amount of crude oil to the population of 1.5 billion, we cannot alone rely on the oil coming from Middle East as well as some Latin American countries. So we obviously need Russia, which is providing us around 35 to 40% of our oil needs. Well, today, US is imposing tariffs on each and every country. Today, if we just rely on US that, okay, we are going to discontinue the deal from Russia, from Moscow, and okay, Washington DC will be providing us with all of the oil needs. Who knows? Tomorrow, Mr. Trump would say that, no, I'm going to discontinue this deal as well. And apart from that, I'm going to impose some excess amount of import duty as well as export tariffs. So how we are going to trust America? What we have seen in 2018, how America removed India from the system of GSP, Generalized System of Preference. How America in the very same year was threatening India of imposing CAATSA. And make no mistake, guys, it was a time period when the president of America was once again Donald J. Trump only, right? So America is using all its cheap tactics though, but only on papers it can be done, not in reality. Now, India-Russia ties. We talk about the energy dynamics. As we can see here, since 2022, that is the Russia-Ukraine war started, we have enhanced 3%, okay, literally we have enhanced 3% of our oil supply from Russia. Right now, it is 35 to 40%, and global countries, okay, those who were buying Russian oil, they were, literally decreasing or providing any kind of a deficit in their imports from the Russian oil. But it is India and China. These are the two countries. We are the two countries. Those who have imported more oil from Russia, okay, that is the direct deal from Moscow, okay, and the figure is here, 3% enhancement. As Russia is a dear friend, no doubt in that. India also imported dual-use military technologies from Russia and repeatedly abstained from UN votes condemning the invasion, citing some legacy ties and the non-aligned international movement, whatever we have, right? So literally speaking, since last 3 years, we haven't voted in United Nations whenever it comes to Ukraine-Russia war. We never have voted in favor of Russia. We never have voted in favor of Ukraine as well. See the word here. What we have done, we have repeatedly abstained, citing our principles of non-alignment in the international norms, as well as the legacy of relationship we have with the Soviet Union since last 1 century. Further, the strategic autonomy versus the global pressure. Consistently, India has maintained a policy of strategic autonomy. That is, we are not relying or depending any particular country when it comes to our strategy in international domain. We are having the autonomy, first of all, as we are a sovereign state. Further, balancing our historical defense as well as energy partnership with Moscow, that is Russia. Unlike many countries, India has refrained from joining sanctions regime against Russia. So we have represented our faith and credit towards Russia at our best what we can do. Neither we voted, we provided abstain, and we have been abstained from voting. We have been aligning towards Russia as well. But yeah, on the contrary, we have been also providing humanitarian aid to Ukraine, from money to material, whatever possible, right? So here we go, the international relations lens, the power and dependency. India's reliance on Russian oil provides Moscow with hard currency. Obviously, it does. Ultimately, you know what we have to understand, that the statement coming from America is not even that dreamboat or even a hypothetical thing. Well, that's the reality. 40% of the oil, if we are buying from Russia, obviously it's providing Russia billions and billions of US dollars. And for this, Russia is obviously cultivating its military equipment as well as the whole defense system. No doubt in that. So how does it troubles us? How does it bother us? It doesn't. Well, was America there when India was fighting against China? Was America there when we had too much of tussles with Pakistan as well as the Afghani Taliban forces? Is India there? Is America there to safeguard India's interest against Bangladesh? Was America there to safeguard India's interest against Sri Lanka during the time period of Sri Lankan Civil War in 1980s? No. America was just a snake in the room. We couldn't trust any days, any moments, any centuries, in any era, basically, right? So power and dependency. So India's reliance on Russian oil provides Moscow with hard currency support, indirectly fueling its military operation in Ukraine. That's true. And Washington views this trade as undermining global efforts to isolate Russia economically. Basically a tool seen as essential to diplomatic leverage, right? So what has happened? Washington see this thing as India's support to Moscow. And with this support, Moscow is, enhancing its military capabilities. Ultimately, it is not allowing America to let peace and the tranquility thing getting established inside Ukraine. This is what America has to state. So second statement is not that correct. But yes, first statement is absolutely correct. So what's your opinion as well? Let us know into the comment section with regard to the second statement here, what you have. Okay. Now, the economic statecraft thing, what we have. So tariffs and threats of punitive measures reflects US strategy to use economic coercion to influence foreign policy behavior. And in this case, compelling India to limit trade with Russia. But ultimately, yes, we are not going to do that. Trump administration knows this thing very well, that Indian government as well as India's foreign policy, how adamant it has been since last 1 decade. And it's not possible for America to provide any coercive pressure on us. As you can see, the diplomatic signaling, what it has stated. The strong tone from Trump official, despite acknowledging his tremendous relationship with PM Modi, signals that commercial tensions are now a front in a global strategic competition. That's true. But still, see the next thing. India's refusal to yield underscores its insistence on conducting policy independent of bilateral pressure, simply a hallmark of its non-aligned lineage. Basically, a legacy that we had in 1954, when we adopted this principle of non-alignment. We started this movement known as non-alignment movement, right? So still what we have stated, we have nothing to deal with the West. Yes, we do have nothing to deal with the East as well, but ultimately, we have to deal with Russia alone, and that's what we have always quoted, right? So what is the basic aspect here, as you can see? What US accuses? So US accuses India of indirectly funding Russia's war, okay, with the oil purchases. What US response is 25% tariff and threats of 100% tariff on diplomatic pressure. And what is our rationale? How we have answered? So we have answered, it is our energy security thing. It is our price competitiveness. Russia is pocket friendly to us. And apart from that, it is also part of strategic autonomy. And if you talk about the background, so we have always quoted that historical India-Russia ties, they have been more advanced, more strong, more good as compared to the ties with America. And finally, when it comes to the themes involved of IR, so obviously it's the economic coercion, it's the power asymmetry, as well as autonomy. So these are the things that are involved in today's topic. So guys, please make sure that everything is clear to you, and if there is any doubt, please do let us know into the comment section. And yes, let's talk about some theories involved here. So as you can see, okay, so as you can see, the theories involved. So first is classical realism. Classical realism is all about the national interest and the survival morality or pressure, where India's interest is shown that India continues Russian oil imports to secure energy needs and the economic leverage. Second, we have got the classical realism, and we have got the next one, offensive realism. Here, the states seek to dominate or expand the power, what America is trying to do, but we are not allowing America. Then we have got the liberal institutionalism. Here, the rules and institutions shape the behavior as per the liberal institutionalism. So what we have been always following? We have been always following the norms of WTO and International Atomic Energy Agency, right? We haven't violated any kind of institutional behaviors. So liberal institutionalism we have been following as well. Then we have got the constructivism. What is this? Identity and historical norms, whatever choices we have, they shape our identity basically, right? So what is this here? India's non-aligned legacy and global South identity shape our relationship with Russia, right? So this is where all the statements they have been. So guys, remember, what are the things involved here? Classic realism, offensive realism, liberal institutionalism, as well as constructivism. And finally, the soft balancing. You have to balance the power always between the West and the East, between the North and the South. So that is what we have been always contemplating for it, right? So guys, this is it with regard to this particular topic, but we have got some MCQs to be discussed as well. So whatever the answers would be, you will let us know into the comment section once again. This is the question number 1 for you. Which of the following best reflects India's position on energy import from Russia amidst the global sanctions imposed after the Ukraine war? We have got the second question. Which of the following statements accurately distinguishes India's approach from that of China in response to US diplomatic pressure over Russian oil imports? Then we have got question number 3. Okay. Oh, sorry. We have got 2 questions from prelims perspective, and we have got 3 questions from mains perspective as well. So guys, please, for the prelims questions, that is for the MCQ choice. Okay. This is what you can answer into the comment section only. But for those mains questions, okay, please do share your answers over the Telegram channel that is here named as Praveen_StudyIQ. You can also just scan this QR code and share your answers here, right? So guys, but if you're a serious UPSC aspirant, remember from 8th of August, we have got our next batch of the resolution batch commencing, okay? With 1000 plus hours of live classes, access to recorded lectures, well, the class notes of the teacher given to you in the PDF format immediately at the end of the session. Well, 18 plus books will be added as well into this one particular subscription. That is 18 sets of books, okay, upgraded and enriched as per the present UPSC CSE standards, will be couriered to you at your home, as in you don't have to anywhere to collect it, okay? It will be parceled from our site to you, okay? Next, 75 plus tests for prelims, 15 plus tests for your mains, as well as multiple mock interviews when it comes to your interview as well. So prelims test series, mains test series, interview guidance program, everything under one subscription. 18 books, class notes. Apart from that, 1:1 mentorship. And yes, if you qualify prelims, for sure that you are going to do the task. If you are going to qualify prelims, first of all, whatever money you have paid for the purchase of the subscription of the batch, that will be immediately refunded back to you. Remember, when a product fails, the companies, they do refund it. But here, when a product is getting successful, then we are providing you the refund. So if you succeed in your prelims, that for sure you are going to, whatever amount you have paid, that will be immediately refunded back to you. Immediately, as in immediately. Secondly, the MRP, that is the mains residential program. For those 90 days of your mains, you will be staying here in Delhi in our accommodation, that is in Rajendra Nagar, the hub of civil services. As in simply, you don't have to pay a single penny for your accommodation for those 90 days. Your accommodation will be totally on us. So you can just relax, okay? Don't have to pay any single penny once again. So everything here that I have stated in the last couple of minutes is under one subscription that is known as the resolution batch, right? So the money will be refunded. Whatever you have paid, you will be getting the mains residential program. You have to pay nothing for your accommodation, and in those 90 days you'll be getting the opportunity to learn from the very same great teachers and educators with whom you were studying online mode, right? So they will be here to guide you, to teach you, to prepare you for your next big one, that is your mains examination. Okay guys, so this is it. Please remember, you have to enroll it at the earliest possible time. And remember, if you want to get maximum possible discount, you need to apply this promo code with you, that is PRV Live. Okay, so just keep this promo code copied. Name is PRV Live. Just apply this and get the maximum possible discount. And guys, remember, we have got multiple subscription plans for you, like Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. And it is starting with just rupees 9,999. And remember, when are the batches going to commence? So it is 8th of August. So it is P2I batch, as in prelims to mains to interview. Okay, everyone. So once again, this is the Telegram channel, and this is also the Instagram account, that is Pravin Mishra _2107. So if you wish, you can connect with me on my Instagram as well. And if there is any doubt, you can ping me and I shall be happy to help you. Okay, guys. Good day. Bye-bye. Take care. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.